The man didn't say anything after waving out the stages. Even if no one went on the stage, he still sat there calmly. The man didn't say anything after waving out the stages. Even if no one went on the stage, he still sat there calmly. 5 minutes passed quickly. One blue-faced, immortal Emperor Tertiary stage couldn't resist flying to the stage and placed his challenge jade card into the ring. When he landed there, no one challenged him, but more immortal emperors flew up. In the blink of an eye, 9 out of the 10 stages had someone on there. Before the 10th person could go up, an extremely white-skinned woman charged towards the 6th stage. There was a handsome-looking man on the 6th stage. He had a metal fan. The woman charged up and said nothing. She released a huge pair of scissors. It instantly turned into a huge scissors shadow and sliced towards that handsome man. Even though the stage was covered by restrictions, people outside could still feel the powerful and lethal force of the scissors. One could imagine that without the restrictions of the stage, that pair of scissors would destroy the nearby space. This scissors shadow's remaining power struck the border of the restriction, creating ripples. When people didn't fight, no one came up. When people fought, it was this intense. Everyone knew that the woman probably didn't come for the spot. She came to kill this handsome man. The handsome man saw this and yelled in fury, "Thou Huiping, are you crazy?" The woman said nothing and just attacked more and more crazily. There was even red mist appearing on her body. Clearly, she was burning her essence blood. Seeing this, the man released his metal fan that turned into a heaven-covering black cloud, stopping the woman's scissor shadow. Sword rays flew out of the black cloud, tearing Bao Huiping's domain to pieces, and even some of her clothing. Bao Huiping didn't care and attacked more crazily. The blood mist surrounding her grew thicker. She was almost naked, but she didn't care and kept attacking the man like crazy. One could see how furious she was. Rumble. The scissors clashed with the metal fan as the scissors' shadow dispersed. Bao Huiping was struck flying out. Her huge scissors smashed against her. She didn't even have the power to take her magic artifact away and just kept panting. The handsome man was covered in wounds. There were multiple holes in his fan. He didn't look as mannered as before. He walked towards Bao Huiping hideously and was about to strike with his metal fan. The audience saw this and sighed. Bao Huiping's battle will was stronger, but the difference in power between them was too huge. Just when the man was about to kill Bao Huiping, the scissors suddenly exploded. Countless shadows struck out, and in less than 1/10 of a second, they completely surrounded the man. The man reacted quickly and took back the fan, wanting to block the explosions, but even so, countless blood holes appeared on his body. Bao Huiping suddenly jumped up and struck out thousands of sword ray shadows. These sword ray shadows formed a huge, thick net that struck the wounded man head-on. Splurge blood light flashed, and in this short time, the handsome man was split into tens of pieces of meat. A terrified essence spirit seeped out. Bao Huiping released a flame and burned the essence spirit to nothing. At this moment, she finally eased up and put on some clothes. She picked up the storage ring and fan and jumped off the stage, disappearing into the crowd. Seeing this bloody scene, the rest of the people were a bit dazed. Although all means could be used, rarely did they see such a gruesome battle. No one would burn essence blood and God essence to go in, because without top-level medicine, they couldn't be recovered. After the bloody battle, more people fought on the stage. People were starting to get killed. At the start, people fought one-on-one, but later on, there were battle royales. The powerful being sat on the side and closed his eyes as though nothing mattered as long as you put your jade card in. An immortal emperor who was smashed down from the stage was extremely furious and wanted to go back again. However, a huge palm reached over and crushed that immortal emperor to powder. This immediately woke up the nearby people. There was at least one rule here, and that was everyone could only come up once. Gradually, the battle royale reduced, but Yi Emo was in no rush. The incense had only burned less than halfway. He would only go up when it was almost out. Clearly, quite a lot of people thought like Yi Emo. As the match went on, stronger and stronger people went up. An axe-wielding immortal emperor peaked stage, and a long-haired woman made Yi Emo keep an eye out. He found these two beat their opponents in a few moves and didn't need to use much god essence. The blue-faced immortal emperor who went up first was still standing there. Yi Emo also noticed a few half-divines who were planning to go on at the last moment. At this moment, a purple-robed man charged up onto the fifth stage. Seeing this, Yi Emo immediately became excited. If he wasn't experienced, he would charge up. Luckily, he stopped himself. He would have to wait till the battle was over before he went up. Otherwise, he might be fighting a 1 versus 2. That purple-robed figure was the man he had chased from the immortal realm until here, the man that might have the fifth stone stool. Seeing this man, Yi Emo made up his mind. If the man won, he would go to the stage and challenge him. If the man lost, he would give up the challenge and hunt this man. He wasn't going to rest until he got the fifth stone stool. The purple-robed man probably didn't expect Yi Emo to come here. No one dared to scan their spirit sense around here. There were countless powerful beings, and those with strange tempers could kill you for any reason. On the fifth stage, the purple-robed man fought a gray-robed immortal emperor. The gray-robed immortal emperor had won 8 fights in a row, with one of them being 2 people ganging up on him. He killed 5 people and showed no mercy. His magic artifact was a blue lighting pike. It had een lightning effect. Ordinary immortal emperors couldn't stop it at all. Yi Emo understood this way of competing. They would go on first and show their means to scare off people from challenging them. Seeing the purple-robed man come up, the gray-robed immortal emperor snarled. He killed 5 people quickly to scare people, and yet this insolent purple-robed man still dared to challenge him. He would kill the purple-robed guy quickly in case people came to challenge him again. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. They could only see from the rattling restriction that the battle was very intense. As soon as the wolf came out, it opened its white mouth and bit towards the dense cluster of lightning needles and balls. It actually looked a little like Shadowless. Because the wolf swept the nearby lightning needles, the gray-robed immortal emperor's domain opened up. Dong, 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 6 drum sounds came. And due to the wolf devouring the needles, there was a hole in the gray-robed immortal emperor's domain, and thus the sounds charged at the immortal emperor through this hole. The gray-robed immortal emperor was struck by the drum sound and spat a few mouthfuls of blood before flying out. Just when Yi Emo thought the gray-robed immortal emperor couldn't do anything, he released another magic artifact. Yi Emo watched this gray-robed immortal emperor intently. As soon as he released the magic artifact, Yi Emo saw it clearly. It was a painting. There seemed to be some monks. As soon as the painting was released, the battle scene cleared up. Yi Emo heard the nearby voices call out in shock. Adamantium great vehicle painting. There were some Buddhist sounds coming from the painting that blew away the Inchi. At the same time, yellow-robed monks flew out from the painting and released their magic artifacts surrounding the purple-robed man and his skeletal wolf. Rumble, a monk smashed a metal staff on the wolf, and the wolf howled in pain, wanting to flee. Before it could run far, another monk appeared before it and smashed down. The wolf howled again and bit that huge metal staff. The monk twisted his staff, and the wolf's teeth fell. The purple-robed man was dazed by this painting, but he immediately realized he was no match for the gray-robed immortal emperor. Before he could leave, two monks smashed down their staffs at his head. Yi Mo's heart sunk. He immediately knew that the purple-robed man actually lost. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense at that gray-robed immortal emperor. He was shaking. He definitely couldn't control the painting. Even if he won, he would leave the stage. Seeing the nearby people seemingly wanting to go on, Yi Mo didn't hesitate and flew up immediately while putting his jade card in. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 1999, Fleeing into Mu Hua God Mountain. Chapter 1999, Fleeing into Mu Hua God Mountain. As soon as Yi Mo came onto the stage, the purple-robed man had the lower hand. If it wasn't that the gray-robed immortal emperor had trouble controlling the painting, he would only have to attack with the pike again, and the purple-robed man wouldn't be able to escape. But even so, the purple-robed man withered under the two metal staffs of the monks. The gray-robed immortal emperor was still holding on, but there was bloody mist around him. Clearly, he couldn't last long. Seeing Yi Mo come up, the gray-robed immortal emperor suddenly woke up. This was the battle stage, and one without rules. If he paid an extremely heavy price, then even if he won, he wouldn't be able to stop this man. Realizing this, the gray-robed immortal emperor was immediately going to take back the painting. Meanwhile, the heavily injured purple-robed man used the opportunity of the monk disappearing to suddenly go up and grab the painting. The next moment, he immediately took the painting and turned to leave. He didn't even want to take his main target, the blue lightning pike. How could Yi Mo let this man leave the stage? He immediately expanded his domain and hacked out with Zisu's crevice god art. It's you! The purple-robed man immediately recognized Yi Mo and tried to escape the stage with his life. Clearly, he knew he was no match for Yi Mo, but he was already at his wit's end. When Yi Mo activated his domain with full power, how could he escape? Yi Mo collected the lethal force around the stage and formed a murderous lethal force, locking onto the purple-robed man tightly. Rumble the crevice smashed onto the purple-robed man's drum, creating a heavy thud. You want to rob the 5 element. Before the purple-robed man could finish, Yi Mo's crevice turned around to cut the purple-robed man in half. At the same time, he stacked his spirit sense domain on top, completely suppressing his sound. In his worry, the purple-robed man wanted to expose Yi Mo's purpose and retreat. At this moment, the gray-robed immortal emperor recovered and smashed his blue lightning pike out without hesitation. The purple-robed man could no longer block this and made a hideous cry before being sliced to pieces. When his essence spirit came out, it was still caught by the lightning net of the blue lightning pike. A blue light flashed. Yi Mo, who had been watching, caught it. There had only been a few seconds between Yi Mo coming onto the stage and the purple-robed man being killed. When the purple-robed man was killed and Yi Mo grabbed the blue light, most people realized and charged onto the stage like Yi Mo. There were no rules, and there was the adamantium great vehicle painting. Who would want to fall behind? The gray-robed immortal emperor was too exhausted. Yi Mo was much more powerful than him. Moments later, a huge battle erupted. Countless magic artifacts and essence chi flows stirred. In the countless years, this was the first time something like this happened at the opening of the Mu Hua God Mountain. When another divine emperor came to hold the scene, the sign-up place was already beaten down, and those who attacked all left. When Yi Mo entered the door, he felt time flow like water past his body. He felt he went from birth to maturity, and then old age. Yi Mo was shocked. Luckily, just when he was still worried, he landed. Yi Mo knew he was in the mountain. His spirit sense scanned out and found he could only scan a radius of 1,000 kilometers. He didn't dare to stay here. As soon as he landed, Yi Mo instant transmissioned again. Doing that here was carrying his head in his hands. The space here wasn't stable, and there was time chi everywhere. If he instant transmissioned into a time whirlpool, it would almost be certain death. Yi Mo had no choice. He knew that Divine Emperor would chase over. Yi Mo had no choice, but of course he could rely on the Golden Page world. If there was a time whirlpool, he would go in immediately. After a few more instant transmissions, Yi Mo used the 5-element mobility technique and kept changing direction. 2 hours later, Yi Mo used Earth mobility under an ancient tree. At an extreme depth, Yi Mo set up a stealth restriction and entered the Golden Page world. Unless a Divine Emperor specifically checked where he was, it would be impossible to find his Golden Page world. A few seconds after entering the Golden Page world, the Divine Emperor stopped at where Yi Mo last instant transmissioned. Yi Mo didn't know this, or else he definitely wouldn't dare to stay under the tree. He thought with all the time chi ravaging here, the space ripples he created would be extremely faint. Even Divine Emperors might not be able to find it after a while. However, this Divine Emperor did. The 5-element mobility technique created even smaller space ripples than instant transmission that would disappear in just a few seconds. The Divine Emperor stood for a long time. He even searched the ground carefully, but found no sign of Yi Mo. I don't believe you can get away. The Divine Emperor searched and chose a direction to keep chasing. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. If you go up before the fruit is mature, it's suicide unless you're a powerful being that has complete mastery over time law. However, those powerful beings are, at least, primordial essence Divine Emperor. They wouldn't come here. Those who left know this, so they left here to find other treasures and come back in a few days, or they went to contact their friends so they can fight for one. There's at least half a year before the fruit matures, by the looks of things. So that's it. Nyo Runin looked at the age's fruit and knew this was something that she could never get. Young mistress, why don't we go look for other things too? Staying here for half a year is a waste, Nyo Runin said. The young mistress's face was full of uncertainty and trouble. Elder Nyen, I suggest we wait here. It seems that it's going to take half a year to mature, but look at the top of the blue fruit. There's a yellow mark. It might actually mature in 3 to 5 days. The young mistress sound transmissioned. Elder Nyen nodded to young mistress with approval. You're right, you don't need half a year for these fruits. I only saw those yellow marks later. It seems it's not just us who saw this. Those who didn't leave probably all saw it. The young mistress smiled and said nothing. She just sound transmission to Nyo Runin and Horseface. When the lightning sound age's fruit matures, Elder Nyen and I will go up to take it. Runin and Marshal Brother Wunyan get ready to help us at the outskirts. We'll leave as soon as we get the fruit. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2001, Open Up Chaos World. Chapter 2001, Open Up Chaos World Crack. The thin membrane on the blue bead cracked under Yi Mo's spirit control, and everything in the blue bead cleared up to Yi Mo. The endless green, lush world almost made Yi Mo exclaim. He had been running his Golden Page world for many years, but compared to this world, it was like a small hay house. This wasn't a matter of high level or low level. In terms of level, Yi Mo was certain that his Golden Page world was countless times higher than this blue bead world, but the purple-robed man has been operating the blue bead world to better completion. rivers appeared in Yi Mo's spirit sense. There were some immortal spirit beasts running around on mountain peaks. There were plenty of level 9 immortal spirit herbs in the immortal spirit herb gardens, and even more below level 9. Immortal crystals and immortal ranges came in piles and piles. Top level magic artifact stacked up in mountains. There was this huge flag that gave Yi Mo a familiar feeling. Yi Mo immediately came to this flag. It was a flag that didn't have a pole but emitted a powerful, ferocious chi. Yi Mo's spirit sense fell on this huge flag and soon knew where it came from. The gray-robed immortal emperor's blue lightning pike had the exact same chi as this flag. At this moment, Yi Mo finally realized why the purple-robed man was going to fight the gray-robed immortal emperor. The flag and the pike were definitely a set. Once combined, it would be a top god artifact. That purple-robed immortal emperor thought that he could definitely beat the gray-robed immortal emperor after watching a few battles, but he didn't expect that the gray-robed immortal emperor was far stronger than he had thought. He had dominated the immortal realm, but now died to a fighting stage in the god Necropolis domain. As Yi Mo moved his eyes away from the flag, he saw an ordinary stool. The moment he saw the stone stool, Yi Mo's heart started beating rapidly because he had searched for this fifth stone all too long. Now that it was right before his eyes, he almost couldn't believe it. In this boundless universe, how hard would it be to find this stone stool? But he got the stone stool and gathered all 5. One needed great fortune and luck for this. Yi Mo looked at the stone stool and saw the word water. There was also some small worlds, 5-element united, world complete. Yi Mo breathed easy. He realized what the purple-robed man wanted. His blue bead world was going beyond truth spirit world. If he found the 5-element stone stools, his blue bead world would go a level higher. He could use it to vindicate Tao and enter divine emperor state. But now that Yi Mo gathered the 5 stone stools, of course he wasn't going to use it to perfect the blue bead world. Yi Mo immediately grabbed the stone stool out of the blue bead world and came into his golden page world. As soon as he came here, the entire golden page world rumbled. Before Yi Mo realized what was going on, his water element stone stool flew out. The other 4 stone stools suddenly flew out too. They spiraled in the golden page world and sped up into a blur. Soon, even spirit sense couldn't see them clearly. The golden page world was rumbling louder and louder as lightning even exploded. Shadowless and small ginseng were scared and hid under the bitter bamboo, not daring to move. Yi Mo wanted to check what was going on in the golden page world and felt his essence spirit hum. At this instant, his essence spirit seemed to about to leave his body and fuse with the golden page world. The rumbling continued, and Yi Mo's consciousness gradually separated from his body. Before Yi Mo could do anything, an extremely clear world appeared in his consciousness. This world seemed to be a blank sheet that needed him to complete. Yi Mo subconsciously imagined the world he wanted. He imagined a river, and an endless river appeared in this world. At this moment, Yi Mo realized what was going on. In his spirit sense, and mountains, forests, lakes, rivers, seas, and snow peaks erupted into existence. As his consciousness expanded out, the universe, stars, moons gradually formed around the golden page world. Pieces of Tao laws sprung into existence. The universe chi, law chi, filled the space. There was lightning, rain, ice and snow. There was night and day. There was the 4 seasons, ice, wind, lightning, and light. All these formed with Yi Mo's will, and there was no pause. Those law power and the law of the heavens gave Yi Mo more understanding. Yi Mo expanded his consciousness out, wanting to expand his world larger. But when his spirit sense touched that obscure chaos at the border of his golden page world, his spirit sense felt a wave of pain. The next moment, he couldn't hold on anymore and fell unconscious on the ground. Small Ginseng and Shadowless, who had seen the entire process of the Golden Page world form, were completely dazed. They clearly saw the Golden Page world go from a grayish dull world into world full of essence chi, with a red sun hanging in the east. Rivers flowed everywhere. Fishes sprung out of the waves as though rejoicing for becoming alive. Boss opened up Primordial World. Shadowless took in a cold breath and murmured, "We're primordial spirits." Small Ginseng reacted and still reminisced the process of this world forming. He knew that after witnessing this chaos world forming, they were not only primordial spirits, but could also have a world creation god art. But soon he thought of Yi-Mo and said, "Shadowless, Boss seems to be unconscious. His body doesn't seem to be right." Shadowless realized and quickly came up to Yi-Mo with Small Ginseng. Yi-Mo's face was dimming, his skin was withering. Even his life force was dissipating. "Small Ginseng, what's going on?" Shadowless asked desperately. He had always been following Yi-Mo, and now that something happened to Yi-Mo, he was really worried. Small Ginseng frowned and said after a long while, "I remembered a legend of our universe's beginning. There was a powerful being called Pangu. After he opened up the universe, he died. Boss seemed to have done the same thing, opening a chaos world. Boss's power seems much weaker than that Pangu. The world he opened isn't even complete. What do we do? Small Ginseng, think of a way. I'm so worried. What if something happens to Boss? What do we do?" Shadowless spun around, but couldn't think of a way. If it's acting cool and cursing at people, he would have all sorts of ideas, but for this situation, there was nothing he could do. Small Ginseng immediately said, "We have to hurry and save Boss. Once his life force completely disappears, even the best Dao fruit can't save him." "What?" Shadowless asked. Small Ginseng answered, "Do you feel that the world law suddenly became complete? Not only that, the universe law is starting to become complete. If I'm not wrong, Boss isn't strong enough, and therefore he has to fuse with the heaven laws to make it more complete." Then Small Ginseng sliced open his arm and dripped a milky white liquid on Yi-Mo. But Yi-Mo's life force was still slowly dissipating. It slowed down a lot, but it didn't stop. "Small Ginseng, this doesn't seem to work." Shadowless said. Small Ginseng's face was pale and stopped his wound. "Indeed, but I thought of something that can definitely save Boss." "What is it?" Shadowless asked desperately. "Chaos Tree. It's also called Tree of Life and World Tree. There's only one of this in the universe, and Boss happens to have found it. It's in here too, and it's almost 3 meters tall." Small Ginseng then lifted up Yi-Mo's arm and said to Shadowless, "Hurry up and help me lift Boss to below the Chaos Tree. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters." Chapter 2002, Ages Fruit Ripe. Chapter 2002. Ages Fruit Ripe Yi-Mo was just lifted under the Chaos Tree, and the tree spurred out a soft golden light that completely covered Yi-Mo. Feeling Yi-Mo's life force recover, Small Ginseng quickly pulled Shadowless. "Boss should be fine. Let's move aside and wait till he wakes up." Shadowless could tell that Yi-Mo was probably fine now and quickly moved aside with Small Ginseng while watching the Chaos Tree. The Chaos Tree illuminated a golden light that covered Yi-Mo and released endless life chi. Even Small Ginseng and Shadowless could feel this life chi clearly, and then they saw Yi-Mo's body starting to float. The Chaos Tree's life chi kept rushing into Yi-Mo's body. Yi-Mo's withered body became filled with life chi, and in a short time, Yi-Mo recovered to what he was before, but the Chaos Tree was getting more withered. 15 minutes later, Yi Mo opened his eyes and saw that he was floating around the chaos tree. The chaos tree's life force nourished his essence, spirit, and meridians. However, the chaos tree was only 2 meters tall now. Yi Mo quickly stopped the chaos tree from nourishing him and got up. Feeling Yi Mo recover, the chaos tree emitted a joyful chi and then devoured the nearby immortal spirit chi, like crazy. Yi Mo took out a pile of god crystals and said to Small Ginseng, "Small Ginseng, quickly use the god crystals to nourish the chaos tree. I need to learn the world laws." Small Ginseng ran over joyfully before Yi Mo gave him god crystals to play with, but it was just a few, not a large pile like this. Shadowless expanded his golden wings and flapped. "Boss, you almost died just then. Is the world tree this powerful?" Yi Mo didn't have the time to watch the world. He opened up. He felt a lot of world laws when he opened the world. These laws don't belong to him. It belonged to the chaos world, but he felt it once. He desperately wanted to know if he could learn these laws and use it to perfect his god art. He immediately sat under the bitter bamboo. Yi Mo started to learn the laws he felt before, but a few days later, Yi Mo could only obscurely feel those laws. He couldn't grasp anything. It was as though those laws were close to him, but when he reached out to grab it, they became very far. The only benefit Yi Mo got was a deeper understanding of space laws. He already knew a bit of space law. His instant transmission came from space law, and because he experienced the golden page world forming, he understood instant transmission better. If he used instant transmission again, it would cause smaller space ripples. As his mastery of space law increased, he would cause less and less space ripples until it eventually disappeared. Yi Mo stopped learning. No matter if he could get anything at the Muhua God Mountain this time, he benefited quite a lot from this. Perfecting the golden page world was more important to Yi Mo than anything else. Yi Mo got up and then checked his newly formed golden page world. He could feel the complete connection with it. He didn't even need to scan with spirit sense and could know every movement in the world. At this moment, Yi Mo knew that his golden page world truly fused into one with him. Unless he died, no one could take the golden page world from him. Mountain ranges were interconnected. Green waters reflected the mountains. A red sun hung high in the east, forming a beautiful landscape. The only thing missing were birds and immortal spirit beasts. Yi Mo was very satisfied with his world. This world was countless times more perfected than the blue bead world. The sun and stars in the blue bead world were formed by formations, but everything in his golden page world was formed by the 5 elements. His world was far from the outside universe. This wasn't that his golden page world was at a lower level, but because his cultivation level was too low, he couldn't control that vast universe void. Once his cultivation level increased, his world would expand out infinitely. Yi Mo flew up. The chaos world was his. He could subtly feel that this world was the same as an ordinary realm. If one had enough power, he could tear the golden page world and head towards the outside world. Yi Mo knew this was extremely hard. The golden page world had all 5 elements, and the world laws were becoming completed. Even the incomplete golden page world was very hard to tear open unless that person was almighty. But how could Yi Mo let such a person stay in his golden page world? He could leave now, but he didn't choose to keep cultivating. Although he gave some god crystals to Small Ginseng, he still had tens of thousands of god crystals left. However, he was in the Muhua God Mountain now. He can't miss this opportunity. Since he came, he would give this place a good search. The mountain was this big. There was no way that Divine Emperor would be this lucky to encounter him again. At this moment on the Lightning Sound Age's Fruit Hill, the lightning was starting to disappear. The blue color on the fruit was gradually replaced by yellow. The chi of time gradually seeped out from the fruit. Everyone outside the hill held their breath. There was more than 20 people here, and most of them knew the fruit was about to mature. The young mistress of the hung golf corner suppressed her excitement, and sound transmissioned, the lightning sound age's fruit is about to be mature. I have lightning mobility technique. As soon as it matures, I'll be the first to charge up, and Elder Nyen help me on the way. Runin and martial brother Wenyen hold still. When Elder Nyen receives the lightning sound age's fruit from me, he will throw it to Runin and martial brother Wenyen. After you two get it, immediately dash away. Elder Nyen and I will help you cut the chase. When we're safe again, we'll contact each other. Okay. Nyo, Runin, and martial brother Wenyen immediately nodded. Chapter 2003, Small Test of Strength. Chapter 2003, Small Test of Strength Rumble. The 5-colored claw smashed on the bell. Although the bell was much stronger than the claw, Nyo Runin's cultivation level was too weak. Just in that clash, she was smashed away. She spat a few mouthfuls of blood midair. The bell dimmed and instantly fell to the ground. If it wasn't for the bell, Nyo Runin would be seriously injured. But even though the bell blocked the first attack for her, she couldn't escape from the second attack. Plus, the other person hadn't even moved yet. The immortal Emperor Peak Stage didn't pursue killing Nyo Runin, but charged towards the bell. Before he could touch the bell, a wave flashed, and that bell was gone. A blue-robed man held the bell and didn't even look at this immortal Emperor Peak Stage. He stared at Nyo Runin. "Yemo, how is it you?" Nyo Runin recognized this person and called out in shock. However, she wasn't joyful at all. She knew that even if Yemo helped her, they wouldn't be a match for the other two. That immortal Emperor Peak Stage was too terrifying. Seeing Nyo Runin know this blue-robed immortal emperor, the other immortal Emperor Tertiary Stage stopped and stood with that immortal Emperor Peak Stage. "What's going on? Did you get something good? Why are there two immortal Emperor Tertiary Stages chasing after you?" Yemo looked at Nyo Runin in confusion. He was wondering where the other people of the Hung God Corner was. Before Nyo Runin could reply, that immortal Emperor Peak Stage landed before Yemo. If it wasn't that Yemo took the bell silently, he would have attacked already. He was concerned with how Yemo took the bell, and he didn't notice at all. "Dao friend, are you going to intervene in our affairs?" The immortal Emperor Peak Stage stared at the bell and said, "Intervene? When did you see me attack?" Yemo said in contempt. The immortal Emperor Peak Stage pointed at the bell in Yemo's hands. "The magic artifact is now mine. You robbed my magic artifact. If that's not attacking, what is?" Hearing this, Yemo raised the bell and said, "This is clearly my magic artifact. When did it become yours?" "I sold this bell to Nyo Runin, and she still hasn't paid me the full sum yet." "Did she sell this to you?" Hearing this, the immortal Emperor Tertiary Stage glanced at Nyo Runin and immediately knew that Yemo was telling the truth. Attack. The two immortal Emperor made eye contact and attack. The other immortal Emperor released a 4 Seas God stump and attacked Yemo. At the same time, Yemo gave the bell back to Domain while expanding his lethal force domain. Yemo quite approved of Nyo Runin. He felt this dark-skinned was a much better person than that beautiful young mistress. With the bell in her hand, Nyo Runin immediately wanted to go help Yemo, but at this moment, she found in shock she couldn't break into Yemo's domain at all. Yemo's domain swept out like crazy. Chapter 2004, Betrayed. Chapter 2004, Betrayed. Yemo interrupted Nyo Runin and asked, "Why did these two gang up on you? Did you get some top treasure?" Hearing this, Nyo Runin hesitated before saying, "It's not mine, it's young mistress's lightning sound age's fruit. She felt Yemo was a good person, and he just saved her life. He didn't know her, and dared to let her own him god crystals. So she said it, but then she immediately regretted. Who knew if Yemo would fight for such Tao fruit? What age's fruit? Yemo exclaimed in shock. From the jade slip he bought at the marketplace, he knew what the age's fruit was. Even Yemo would dream to get such Tao fruit. He didn't expect Nyo Runin was hunted for this. Yemo's heart heated up. If he could get the fruit and learn time law, or just a sliver, it would be a huge increase to his power. Seeing Yemo's shocked tone, Nyo Runin's heart sunk. She felt she shouldn't have said this, but then she thought, even if she didn't say it, there would be a reason two immortal emperor tertiary stage were hunting her. Yemo could guess she got something good. Thinking about this, Nyo Runin quickly said, "This time Tao fruit isn't mine. It's young mistress's." After she grabbed the fruit, she gave it to me and helped stall the people hunting me. Wait, Yemo interrupted her. You're saying she gave you the fruit and stayed to stop the others from robbing the fruit? Nyo Runin didn't really want to show the fruit to Yemo and answered, "Yes, but this Tao fruit isn't mine. If it's mine, I'm willing to give it to you to thank you for saving my life." Yemo smiled. "Time Tao fruit is very precious. I want it indeed, but I wouldn't rob yours. Don't worry. I just feel this thing is about strange. It's not that I'm looking down on her, but she's indeed not so much a good person." Hearing this, Nyo Runin's face became uneasy. If it wasn't that she owed Yemo and he saved her, she would get angry. Seeing her face, Yemo said, "Since she gave the Tao fruit to you, she would catch up on time. However, you were gained up on by two immortal emperor tertiary stages. Other than me, no one came. Even now, I don't see your young mistress. Tao friend Runin, don't tell me you didn't send a message yet, or that young mistress doesn't know how to find you. I won't believe this." Nyo Runin's face changed. Things were really as Yemo said. She sent messages, but the young mistress still hasn't come to help her. If it wasn't for Yemo, she would have been long dead. She's helping me cut the chase. She's stopping all those who want to chase for the fruit, or she would be here already. Nyo Runin said with low confidence. Yemo sneered. "Everyone saw her throw the Tao fruit to you, right? Since they saw it, would they stop her? Those two hunted you were a good example. Do you think she would waste time? They're having meaningless battle? If I was her, I would come back you up immediately, but in reality, she didn't come right." Yemo put the jade slip and was very grateful to Nyo Runin. She helped him quite a bit. The mountain was boundless and spirit sense was limited. God art was also suppressed. If Nyo Runin didn't tell him, even if he searched for a year, he might not find these places. If he accidentally went into time whirlpools, he might die. These god necropolis domain powers indeed had their own ways. The first place Yemo chose to go was Muhua Floating Valley. The 7-star extreme well was very important to him. He was now immortal god body peak. Yemo felt annoyed. He couldn't break through to divine body. To him, break through to divine body was important, but more importantly, it was learning god arts. He had quite some god arts, but didn't have a great god art nor a body refinement god art. His body refinement is purely defense. If he could learn a body refinement god art, his power would increase many times. As Yemo walked, his spirit sense carefully scanned out. He had to be careful of time whirlpools. 6 bluish-green herbs appeared in Yemo's spirit sense. Yemo immediately recognized this was red cloud god herb. It was a spirit I-type god herb. It couldn't be found in the immortal realm. If there was an immortal cultivating spirit I god art, this herb would be invaluable. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2005, Instant Kill Immortal Emperor. Chapter 2005. Instant kill Immortal Emperor. Before Yi Mo could get close to them, two dashing lights charged over. Yi Mo knew this place was the God Mountain and was very careful, but these two dashed like lightning without any concern. Moments later, these two were only 10 meters from the herbs. Yi Mo sneered. He found these herbs first. There was no way he was going to give it up easily. Just when Yi Mo was about to charge up, he saw the two people suddenly disappear. This was the first time Yi Mo had seen such an eerie situation. They definitely didn't have a golden page world like him, and suddenly went in. Yi Mo subconsciously stopped. An extremely terrifying time flow seemed to have brushed past him. Yi Mo subconsciously retreated 10 more meters before that feeling was gone. At the same time, he saw the two figures again. They were just 3 meters from the place they disappeared. But now they had become white bones. They went for a few more steps and fell to the ground. When Yi Mo looked carefully, he noticed there were many bones around those red cloud god herbs. Yi Mo took in a cold breath. This was too scary. 3-meter distance, a few seconds, and 2 immortal emperor tertiary stages became bones. Even divine emperors wouldn't be able to do this. Yi Mo soon realized that there must be an invisible time whirlpool around the red cloud god herb. No matter how much he wanted the herbs, Yi Mo didn't dare to joke with his life. He called out Shadowless and Small Ginseng and told them the situation here. Shadowless and Small Ginseng shook their heads, clearly didn't know how to go past the time whirlpool. Yi Mo's spirit sense carefully went forward. His spirit sense went past without any problem. Yi Mo didn't give up. He used a few spirit sense blades in the time whirlpool. As soon as he did, an extremely powerful time flow blew away his spirit sense. The feeling of losing life came up. Yi Mo quickly took back his spirit sense, but found that the spirit sense the time whirlpool swept in was gone. Such a powerful time whirlpool. Yi Mo murmured. It would be fortunate if he wasn't heavily injured in front of this time whirlpool, much less learn time law. The people in the mountain were very careful. If it wasn't for the red cloud god herbs, they wouldn't rush like that. The time whirlpool was strange. It would only be activated with spirit sense waves. It seemed his cultivation level was too low. He couldn't learn the time law here. He had to collect things to increase his cultivation level. After making this decision, Yi Mo planned to ask Small Ginseng to help him find treasures. Yi Mo knew that since Neo Runin had that jade slip, other powers would have them too. Perhaps those places were plowed open already. Yi Mo gave up the red cloud god herbs. Small Ginseng had an innate talent to sense laws. He would be able to sense some subtle time whirlpools. These 2 immortal emperor tertiary stages were killed in one move. They didn't even completely release their god arts. It's not that they couldn't use it, but that they didn't take Yi Mo seriously at all. However, as soon as they clashed, they realized they were severely wrong, and this cost them their lives. 2 essence spirits seeped out and was gulped by Shadowless, who was waiting on the side. The immortal Emperor Peak stage was just a bit slower than that half-divine. His face changed immediately and released his Wither Zen dual swords. Yi Mo wasn't worried about that. He was worried about the Heaven Shocking Lamp. Upon release, it formed heaven-covering light that locked onto him. The endless light were like stars falling that smashed towards Yi Mo. Yi Mo felt his essence spirit was about to cripple. He couldn't even gather his god essence. Although the half-divine didn't stop him from killing the 2 immortal emperors, he chose the perfect opportunity to attack, putting him at the lower hand. Those lights spun more rapidly until it grew brighter and brighter. This reminded Yi Mo of his heaven flame, 9 suns. Heaven flame, 9 suns grew more and more brighter later on. Under the binding of the light, Yi Mo could clearly feel the terror of these lights, and he could feel that the more the light spun, the stronger his domain was. If this continued, Yi Mo wouldn't even be able to take back Zisu. Shadowless saw this and flapped his wings towards that half-divine and bit down. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2006, Mu Hua Floating Valley. Chapter 2006. Mu Hua Floating Valley, this gathering light domain, was bitten a hole by Shadowless. Yi Mo felt easy, and before the lamp could fill the hole up, he punched out. Fist God, Art Shatter Sky. At the same time, Shadowless was smashed back by the backlash of the domain and smashed into a huge mountain rock. Yi Mo was planning to burn his god essence to break free from the domain, but Shadowless helped him, so he didn't hesitate at all. 9 void, lethal forces rose, and this space was instantly swept inside. The endless light was suppressed by the fist wind before it could be repaired. The 9 fist forces clashed with the endless light. The endless light seemed to have been smashed by asteroid and scattered to a few hundred kms nearby. The half-divine saw that his heaven-shocking lamp domain was broken by Yi Mo and was extremely shocked. He still had other means, but only he knew that the time you picked to ambush Yi Mo was perfect, and yet under such situation, he still wasn't able to make Yi Mo seriously injured. Yi Mo's power was definitely no weaker than his. His heaven-shocking lamp lit up again. An eerie light came up that charged at Yi Mo's fist wind. At this moment, the blue-haired immortal emperor tertiary stage finally released his magic artifact. The 2 swords sealed Yi Mo's surroundings like 2 sword dragons. Yi Mo raised his hand, and a huge drum appeared before him. Dong, dong, dong. Yi Mo struck the drum 9 times, but it sounded like tens of thousands of horses racing. The sky became dark with lethal force. The 2 immortal emperors attacking Yi Mo felt endless immortal soldiers raising their spears and attacking. This wasn't the battle between 3, but between millions. Yi Mo didn't take back the fist wind and raised out a few more lightning bolts. Before, Yi Mo was almost backlashed by the drum sound with just 1 strike, but now he struck it 9 times and was completely fine. The dual swords was suppressed by the drum sounds and could only circulate around Yi Mo's domain. The eerie green light of the half-divine was also suppressed and immediately slowed down. However, Yi Mo's 5 lightning lights were becoming clearer. Those drum sounds struck the half-divine's chests, making his god essence cripple. But this wasn't the end. At the same time, 5 extremely clear lightning spears appeared. The half-divine's face changed. Although his domain was bit open by Shadowless, it was still under a slight upper hand. But when the drum sounded, he was at the lower hand. Now that the 5 lightning spears was about to smash down, and he was completely bound to it, how could he keep attacking Yi Mo at the same time? The green light changed directions and swept at the 5 lightning spear destruction. Rumble! The lightning spears smashed with the green light, creating this huge, shocking sound that exploded all the nearby space, destroying the nearby forest and small hill. More than half of the lightning spears was gone, but it kept falling. It just wasn't as powerful as before. The heaven-shocking lamp suddenly expanded, becoming a red sun. Crack! A few more sounds appeared, and the remaining lightning spear completely smashed on the heaven-shocking lamp. The lamp immediately dimmed down, and even made a cracking sound. The half-divine blocked Yi Mo's Shatter Space God art, and the drum sound, as well as the 5 lightning spear destruction. However, his face became pale. After blocking the 5 lightning spear destruction, he immediately put away his lamp and dashed away. A half-divine and an immortal Emperor Peak stage was attacking Yi Mo together, but he felled first. Seeing this half-divine run, Yi Mo had no power to chase him. Seeing this, the blue-haired immortal Emperor Peak stage's face looked back. He wanted to take back his magic artifact and run, but Yi Mo was facing him alone now. How could he run easily? Yi Mo's immortal Emperor domain and Spirit Sense domain completely expanded, binding this immortal Emperor Peak stage before punching again. This Shatter Sky gathered a few void, lethal force, and completely sealed off his exit. The blue-haired immortal Emperor was already no match for Yi Mo. Now that he just wanted to run, he had less chances of stopping Yi Mo's god art. He wasn't that half-divine. Although he was immortal Emperor Peak stage, he was weaker than ordinary immortal Emperor Tertiary stage. Facing such a powerful lethal blow, he could only beg, "Don't attack! I'm Zichung God Corner's Hellion Yul. I'm from the Hellion family." For those who wanted to kill him, Yi Mo wasn't going to let them go even if they were the God Lord. Shatter Sky's fist force swept the blue-haired immortal Emperor to pulp. 3 storage rings fell into Yi Mo's golden page world. Then he walked up to Shadowless and asked what was going on. Shadowless was thick-skinned, and although he was smashed away by the half-divine's domain, he was fine. Small Ginseng quickly said, "I felt a top treasure here, and just when I was charging forward, I was stopped by those 4. Shadowless quickly said, "That blue-haired saw-through, that Small Ginseng, was Ice Ginseng King, and wanted to capture Small Ginseng. Of course, we didn't agree, but before I attacked, I was attacked by that woman." He offended another power. Yi Mo just didn't bother to think about it, and said to Small Ginseng, "Small Ginseng, lead the way. Let's see where that treasure is." He offended too many people. When the mountain was about to open, he would just stay in here. He found what he wanted anyways. If he wasn't afraid that people would find the tunnel to the immortal realm, he would rather go back to the immortal realm. Yi Mo really didn't like this god Necropolis domain. Hearing that Yi Mo was going to find what he sensed, Small Ginseng immediately came and dashed out in a white light. Yi Mo didn't dare to follow from afar and stuck close by Small Ginseng. Chapter 2007, 7-Star Extreme Well. Chapter 2007, 7-Star Extreme. Well, the 2 immortal Emperor Tertiary stages saw that a mere immortal Emperor Middle stage asked them to stop fighting and give way. They didn't understand where Yi Mo got the audacity from, but the older immortal Emperor moved to the side, clearly agreeing. The long-haired immortal Emperor saw Shadowless and Small Ginseng running behind Yi Mo. As though feeling that someone who could own these 2 weren't ordinary, he hesitated and moved aside too. Yi Mo waved his hand and was going to pass between the 2. At this moment, the gray-robed immortal Emperor suddenly attacked. He released an extremely powerful ray that bound the entire space. Even Yi Mo felt the terror of this dark ray, and suspected he might not be able to dodge it if he didn't convert his immortal essence. At this moment, Small Ginseng and Shadowless were in this bound space, and was about to be pierced. Shadowless was more experienced in battle, and instantly stopped Small Ginseng and bit. Crack! There was an almost indistinguishable sound, and that bound spay was bit open a bit. Shadowless took Small Ginseng to retreat a few steps and escaped from the border. Yi Mo was furious. He didn't expect this careful-looking gray old man was this shameless and used him to ambush. If it was some ordinary person, he would have been dead already. The next moment, his domain pressed over and used shatter space. 9 terrifying void, fist forces swept at the old man. Yi Mo didn't even hit the murderous chi. It fused with the void, lethal force that would even make spirit sense shiver. The old man wanted to use his dark ray rune, but the long-haired immortal emperor stopped him and prevented him from using it. Now that Yi Mo was going past here, he immediately caught onto the opportunity. The instant the rune was activated, the gray-robed immortal emperor breathed easy. He knew he was fine now. No matter how strong the long-haired immortal emperor was, he would be heavily injured or killed by the rune. As for the mere immortal emperor middle stage, the gray-robed old man felt Yi Mo was suicidal to intervene in the immortal emperor tertiary stage battle. But the instant he activated the rune, he felt things weren't right. That dragon horse-like beast bit open the dark ray domain. That immortal emperor middle stage, who was bound by the dark ray domain, could move freely and even punched over. His face changed greatly. That extremely powerful, lethal force already locked onto him tightly. He could clearly sense it, but he couldn't dodge it. The murderous killing intent hurt his body before it even reached him. His body was about to split apart. Such a terrifying fist force, such murderous killing intent. The gray-robed man instantly realized he caused a big trouble. This guy was no immortal emperor middle stage. This power was Tao Vindication Divine Emperor. The nearby space was completely bound, and even the old man's spirit sense was locked on. He couldn't even make a word, even if he wanted to beg for mercy. He could only watch as the void, lethal force came. His eyes were full of regret and terror. He didn't expect he messed with someone this tough so casually. Thud. The void, fist force smashed together, and the old man's body exploded. He couldn't even move his finger and could only watch. This only happened in a second. The long-haired immortal emperor noticed the ambush, but that dark ray domain was too strong, and he couldn't break free. Luckily, Shadowless bit open the domain, and Yi Mo's Shatter Sky tore this domain open. The long-haired immortal emperor immediately used the opportunity to move aside, but even so, the dark ray still took away all the clothes on him, as well as some flesh. One could imagine that if he was a bit later, that dark ray would heavily injure him. Before he could breathe easy, he saw Yi Mo punch the old man to dust. That extremely fierce and terrifying lethal force made the long-haired man shiver, even though he wasn't at the full front of it. Such powerful fist force. The long-haired man rejoiced that he didn't forcefully block the way, or he would be the one dead. No wonder this immortal emperor middle stage dared to roam around with an ice ginseng king. With such power, who would dare to attack him? He even suspected that Yi Mo was fishing for an excuse to kill people. Just when the man wanted to walk to Yi Mo and thank him, a huge explosion stopped him. The long-haired man didn't mind. He knew that it was the dark ray hitting a cliff. "Boss, it's this place. It's been smashed open." Small ginseng quickly came over and pointed at the cliff. Yi Mo already saw it. An extremely dense god spirit chi-chi, with slivers of Tao waves diffused. There was also an extremely good aroma that purified cultivation and the body. 7-star extreme well, the long-haired man called out in shock. A huge stone pond appeared, and inside was extremely clear liquid, the god spirit chi, that seeped out squeezed away the clouds, making it seem like an immortal pond floating in the air. It's indeed 7-star extreme well, not bad. Small ginseng did huge work this time. Yi Mo said happily. The next moment, Yi Mo took a storage ring and landed on the side of the well. He took out a jade kettle that wasn't very big. Yi Mo was an immortal artifact grandmaster, although it was hard to buy dimensional jade kettles for others, but Yi Mo made a pile in the Golden Page world to collect treasures like this. The long-haired man's face changed a few times, but he eventually didn't dare to do anything. The 7-star extreme, well, was precious, but he didn't have the balls to fight over it with Yi Mo. However, he also flew over and saluted with his fists to Yi Mo, "This Tao friend, thank you for saving my life. I want to see if there would be 7-star extreme wells on the side. Would that affect Tao friend?" Yi Mo looked and nodded, "Do as you please." The long-haired man rejoiced and immediately started to dig places not far from Yimo's 7-star extreme well. He had researched many information before and knew that around the 7-star extreme well, there would be side wells. This is still 7-star extreme well, but just has less quantity. When the original 7-star extreme well was full, the liquid would flow to another place, so that place was side well. The liquid in the well was brought out by Yi Mo and flowed into the jade kettle like a water fountain. One couldn't even stop the extremely pure well qi from spreading. Yi Mo knew that this would definitely attract people to come. He had to collect this quickly. Crack! Yi Mo knew that the other man succeeded because after this crack, there was more well qi seeping out. Found it. The long-haired man rejoiced. Yi Mo looked over. 10 meters from him, there was a sink-sized well. Yi Mo didn't plan to fight over it. He already had this much, so he didn't need more. Plus, the man found it himself. The man wasn't slower than Yi Mo and instantly took out a jade bottle and quickly filled up the well. At this moment, a few more dashing lights came in, and Yi Mo just finished collecting the well water. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2008, Talk with Power. Chapter 2008, Talk with Power, 7-star extreme well. A few shocked voices and 4 figures landed. Then 2 more dashing lights came and called out the same words. Yi Mo landed and waved to Shadowless and Small Ginseng. "Let's go." The long-haired man saw this and quickly followed Yi Mo. Wait. At least 3 of the 6 came out and stopped Yi Mo. Yi Mo frowned. He knew that he took all the well water, so it was probably hard for him to leave peacefully. Ice Ginseng King. Another person saw Small Ginseng and exclaimed. Yi Mo was only Immortal Emperor peak stage, and yet got this many 7-star extreme well water and the Ice Ginseng King. Even the dragon horse probably wasn't simple. People's eyes immediately went red. Yi Mo waved his hand and took Shadowless and Small Ginseng. At the same time, Zisu floated in the air. Since this was unavoidable, he might as well fight. The strongest here was only Immortal Emperor peak stage, and there was only one. One person here was even Immortal Monarch peak stage. Yi Mo didn't need to worry about this at all, nor need Shadowless help. Seeing Yi Mo put away Small Ginseng and Shadowless, a few people sneered. It was pointless to put away things that were already seen. At this moment, 3 more dashing lights came. Yi Mo was speechless, as Yi Mo knew 2 of them. It was the 2 that stopped Nyo Runnen and was taught a lesson by Yi Mo. The 3 immediately saw the empty 7-star extreme well, but then the other 2 Immortal Emperors recognized Yi Mo. Their faces changed, but they didn't leave. They stood afar and watched. Seeing one of the 2 was Immortal Emperor peak stage. The first 6 who came saluted with their fists to the 3. The Immortal Emperor peak stage in the group of 6 was white-skinned, but his eyes looked evil. He greeted the 3 and walked up to the long-haired man. "Tao friend, you've got quite some luck. The well is that big here. You probably got quite a lot, right?" The long-haired man saluted with his fists. "I got some well water, but I got the side one. As for the main, well, it's because I came a bit late." The Immortal Emperor peak stage dazed. To him, it was Yi Mo and the long-haired Immortal Emperor who split the 7-star extreme well. Yi Mo was weaker. So he must have gotten less, but the results were different. Then he reacted and smiled to the long-haired man. "Dao friend, you're a nice person. I admire you." The side well was only the size of a water sink, not even 1/10 of the main well. Yet the man still didn't rob Yi Mo's well. The long-haired man smiled, but said nothing. Was he a good person? He felt Yi Mo was a good person. If it was someone else, he wouldn't even get the sides. This evil-eyed immortal emperor peak stage looked at Yi Mo and casually saluted with his fists. "Dao friend, you're quite lucky to get an entire well of 7-star extreme well. I'm Hung Hong God Corner Yi Kong. There's plenty of treasures in the mountain, but the 7-star extreme well is extremely rare. Since everyone saw it, can you share some?" Yi Mo smiled. "Of course, there's that many 7-star extreme wells. I can't use it all." Yi Kong laughed. "Dao friend nice. How about this? Take out the 7-star extreme well, and I'll split it up." Seeing that Yi Mo was willing to share the 7-star extreme well, he immediately knew Yi Mo was scared. He was facing 9 immortal emperors, and Yi Mo was only an immortal emperor middle stage. How could Yi Mo not be scared? The 2 immortal emperors who had seen Yi Mo before knew he definitely wasn't so easy to talk to. They saw others go up, but they stayed afar. "Why should I let you split my things?" Yi Mo said plainly, but killing Qi was gathering around Zissou. He was about to attack. Feeling Yi Mo's faint killing Qi, Yi Kong frowned and said coldly, "Didn't you say you can't use this many 7-star extreme well water and wanted to share it? Are you regretting?" Yi Mo smiled. "Of course I won't regret, but if you want my well water, you need to trade it. You guys didn't take anything out and want me to share the well water with you. Do you want to rob me?" Yi Kong heard this and was furious. "So you're playing with me?" Then his force rose as killing intent circulated around him. Before he could attack, the brown-robed immortal emperor tertiary stage next to him went up first and released a rusty ghost chain and attacked Yi Mo. "Martial Brother Kong, you don't need to deal with this cocky bastard. I, Guan Ruisi, am enough." As soon as the ghost chains came out, the valley became ghastly. It was as though countless ghosts came alive. Howling ghost voices sounded with the black smoke that was about to tear Yi Mo apart. The long-haired man standing not far felt his mind unstable and immediately retreated while releasing his defensive magic artifact. "The ghost chains are not bad," Yi Mo said, and sliced with Zissou. He really felt the ghost chains were good, but this immortal emperor tertiary stage couldn't fully activate it. Yi Mo expanded his domain out, and the gray-robed immortal emperor's domain cracked like an egg. The immortal emperor immediately knew he wrongly estimated Yi Mo's cultivation level, but Zissou already smashed down on the ghost chains with the space lethal force. Rumble! Essence Qi blasted, and the nearby immortal emperors released their magic artifacts while retreating quickly. Yi Kang's face changed. He instantly realized that Guan Ruisi was no match for Yi Mo. He instantly released his magic artifact, but the long purple sword ray had already hacked on the ghost chains. Sizzling sounds came, and the endless ghost figures were melted into nothing but the purple rays. Guan Ruisi felt his ghost chains shiver. The long purple sword ray suddenly cracked, and then turned into heaven, covering purple shards that enveloped him. At this moment, Guan Ruisi was completely in despair. He realized that even if he didn't underestimate Yi Mo could still kill him easily. Splurge. Blood mist sprayed, and the immortal emperor tertiary stage who was going to kill Yi Mo a few seconds ago was turned to dust. At this moment, Yi Kang's 5-flame Qiankuan will was just released. Yi Mo didn't put away Zissou. He flew up and punched. Yi Mo felt very satisfied. His crevice god art finally broke through just then forming endless crevice shards. He derived this from illusion cloud, 9 strikes, and heaven-shocking lamp domain. After crevice cracked, The endless sword rays can form another domain strike. If it enveloped the opponent, it would kill for sure. Before the 5 sun, like rings of the wheel spread out, it was swept by Yemo's fist force. Rumble, 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 rumble. After 5 huge explosions, flames shot everywhere, and this space and earth was completely turned to dust. Even the 2 valleys were powdered. Kong flew back, and there was a sliver of blood at the corner of his mouth. He was extremely shocked. Although he attacked in a rush, Mo attacked after Mo killed an immortal emperor. Mo counterattacked in a rush. Thinking about this, Kong soon realized he was far from a match for Mo. Kong stumbled a few steps. His face was pale. He finally realized why Mo didn't care. He didn't need to care. Even if 6 more of them came, Mo could just go. If Mo wanted to go, who here could stop him? The long-haired man breathed easy. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2009, Tao Essence Divine Estate. Chapter 2009, Tao Essence Divine Estate. Out of the first 6 people who came, 1 was instantly killed, and the immortal Emperor Peak stage was smashed away. The remaining 4 had 1 immortal monarch and 2 immortal emperor primary stages. Their faces were extremely pale and subconsciously looked at the 3 who came later. They finally realized why there was 2 who didn't come up. They already knew how strong Mo was. Essaying Mo take the storage ring and ghost chain and walk towards him, Kong quickly put away his wheel and saluted with his fists. I was too impulsive. I'm willing to compensate for Tao Friend's losses. Seeing Mo completely ignore him, Kong said again, there's a Tao Essence Divine Estate in the mountain. I've just got news and sensed the well chi here. That's why I came over. Mo stopped. Tao Essence was the pinnacle of the god Necropolis domain. He must go check out that Tao Essence estate. Up until now, his 3-birth chant didn't have Tao Vindication cultivation method, mainly because he had never come in contact with a Tao Vindication Divine Emperor. Even though he was hunted by 1, he didn't fight 1. Tell me where it is, and I'll let you live. Mo said plainly. Kong quickly said the Tao Essence Divine Estate is at Chengzheng Lake. People were searching for Qing Tao Qi Lan there, and accidentally activated the ancient Tao Essence Divine Estate. It's said that this place might be left behind by a powerful being before the god Necropolis domain was broken. There would be top-level divine Tao cultivation method and god art. Okay, if you don't want my well water, then piss off. Mo said. Kang's face showed a sliver of anger, but he quickly hid it and said, Tao Friend, that 3 treasure ghost chain is one of the top magic artifact of our Hung Hong God Corner. Please, you want it? Mo looked asked. Kong bit his teeth and said, yes, that's something very important to us. We're willing to pay some price for it. Mo said, you can have it back if you use a Tao fruit to trade it. Any Tao fruit will do. Otherwise, no deal. If you can give me lightning sound Aegis fruit, I can not only give the chains back, but also give you a bottle of 7-star extreme well water. Mo said loudly, but no one at the scene reacted. He knew that these people definitely didn't get the fruit. Seeing Mo about to leave, Kong was really desperate. He quickly sound transmission to Mo, Tao Friend, I really don't have Tao fruit, but I know who does, and I know he has 2 lightning sound Aegis fruit. Mo said coldly, what does that have to do with you? Do you think I'm going to give you the ghost chains if you told me who has the lightning sound Aegis fruit? It's fabled that an ancient gray dragon molded his Tao here, but he encountered an unprecedented divine damnation. This divine damnation took the divine damnation, but his essence spirit cracked due to this and died here. Eventually, his essence blood and essence qi formed the lake, and the Qing Tao Qi Lan next to the lake has a sliver of dragonwill. It's more valuable than Qing Tao Qi Lan from other places. The lake surface is so flat, even if there were Qing Tao Qi Lan, wouldn't it be harvested away? Yi Mo asked. Ikong answered, people can't see the lake every time the mountain opens, as the mountain opens from a different position. So in time, people can find Qing Tao Qi Lan around the lake. Yi Mo nodded and looked at the half-divine. Tell me about this person. He's very mysterious. It's said he's not from the 16 God corners and 5 castles. After he came here, he went around challenging everyone, and no one was a match for him. He killed a few top prodigies. Later, there was Tao Vindication Divine Emperor attacking him, but he has an extremely powerful space mobility technique. Even divine emperors find it very difficult to keep him. If any divine emperor attacked him, he would come back to revenge the divine emperor's sect after a while. As time went on, no one dares to mess with him. Ikong subconsciously looked at the half-divine. The half-divine seemed to have felt someone look at him. He looked up and glanced over coldly. Ikong subconsciously shivered, and sound transmissioned, he knows we're discussing about him. Yi Mo threw out the ghost chains and said, you have no business here. Ikong took the ghost chains and quickly left. He didn't want to be connected with Yi Mo at all. However, before Yi Mo went over, that half-divine came over. He studied Yi Mo from head to toe before saying in a coarse voice, you were prying news about me? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip, you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2010, Divine Estate Scheme. Chapter 2010, Divine Estate Scheme. Yi Mo just wanted to answer the yellow cloud-robed half-divine when the center of the lake shadowless exploded with a 1 km tall water pillar. However, it seemed quite eerie as the pillar was red. Okay, another formation flag opened. Someone clapped. Soon, a few figures jumped up from the bottom of the lake and landed by the river. Before anyone said anything, a few more people went into the lake. The water pillar gradually fell back. At this moment, a Tao Vindication Divine Emperor drew 8 over to the side, clearly wanting them to get prepared. Yi Mo finally realized what was going on. It seemed that Tao Essence Divine Estate was at the bottom of the lake, and people went down in turns to break the formation. When one formation flag was opened, the 8 people who were just appointed would go down to attack the next formation flag. The Divine Emperor is probably the commander of this operation. Yi Mo was shocked. There was such massive attacks at the bottom of the lake, but nothing could be seen from the lake surface. Only when the formation flag was broken would there be a water pillar. I'm asking you something. The half-divine saw Yi Mo stare at the lake and think, so his tone grew cold. Yi Mo turned around and saluted with his fists. I heard Tao Friend is a body refinement cultivator. I just came from Mu Hua Hanging Valley. You're not going to say, you found the 7-star extreme well, right? Beams shot out of the half-divine's eyes as though he was almost about to eat Yi Mo. Yi Mo said calmly, that's right, I found it, and I got a big pond. The half-divine rejoiced. He had been to the Hanging Valley many times, but didn't find any marks of the well. Yet, someone said he found a large pond of it. How could he contain his joy? The well was invaluable to him. He would rob it even if he had to. Just when he was going to speak, he saw Yi Mo's face change, and he jumped into the lake without hesitation. The half-divine dazed, but he soon reacted. He followed Yi Mo into the river without hesitation. The rest of the immortals didn't expect someone would jump in the lake at this time. Those who didn't understand thought the formation was opened and jumped in too. More and more people jumped in. The divine emperor holding the formation saw that he was the only one here and gritted his teeth. A mere immortal emperor middle stage dares to mess up my plan. He brought over a Tao actualization divine emperor. Just when Yi Mo jumped in the lake, a Tao actualization divine emperor came over a few seconds later. The Tao actualization divine emperor also jumped in the lake. This divine emperor immediately guessed that the Tao actualization divine emperor was hunting Yi Mo. Then he jumped in the lake too. Of course, the Tao essence divine estate's formation wasn't broken, but Yi Mo had to jump in. His spirit sense sensed the divine emperor who was hunting him head towards the lake, and his spirit sense locked onto him when it scanned the lake. In just a few seconds, the divine emperor would be here. He didn't think he could get away this time. The Tao actualization divine emperor's spirit sense was locked onto him. Yi Mo jumped into the lake. He couldn't think of anywhere else where he could escape the spirit sense. Yi Mo believed that no matter how strong the divine emperor's spirit sense was, it couldn't scan into the bottom of the lake. As soon as Yi Mo jumped in, the spirit sense lock-on was removed. Yi Mo could go into the golden page world now, but he didn't choose to. He still had an opportunity to run. Yi Mo was at his max speed and kept dashing around at the bottom of the lake. He knew that the divine emperor was in the lake now, but his spirit sense was limited in the lake, so he couldn't be sure where he was. Rumble! The water splashed apart, and Yi Mo immediately knew something was going on at the bottom of the lake. He carefully dived, but found a huge golden door was wide open. Yi Mo saw the Tao Essence Divine Estate's restriction was smashed open, and a few people went inside. The latter people also dashed in. Yi Mo's first impulse was to go in too, but he instantly changed his mind. He didn't go in and instead threw down a surveillance formation disc like the rocks at the lake bed and left. He controlled the golden page world to mix into the mud at the lake. Hiding in the golden page world, Yi Mo was confused. Why was there no Tao Essence Chi in this Tao Essence Divine Estate? Yi Mo had never seen Tao Essence Chi, but there was very little ancient feeling to this estate. Soon, Yi Mo felt he was thinking too much. Perhaps that Tao Essence Divine Emperor didn't die for long. With the Tao Essence Divine Estate open, even the half-divine outside the divine estate couldn't resist. The Tao Essence Divine Estate attracted him too much. To him, the well was very important, but it could be delayed. Going in the Tao Essence Divine Estate was the most important thing. Seeing that divine emperor go into the Tao Essence Divine Estate, Yi Mo breathed easy. The only pity was that he couldn't go in to get rich, and that half-divine went inside. He couldn't even deal with him. Just when Yi Mo wanted OT, leave the golden page world, and flee, another figure appeared in the surveillance formation disc. Yi Mo quickly stopped. He almost forgot about the divine emperor breaking the formation. How did this guy come so late? What shocked Yi Mo was that this divine emperor didn't go in and instead sneered before throwing down tens of formation flags. This divine emperor was clearly setting up a top trap and attack formation. Even he can't set up such formation. As the divine emperor kept throwing out formation flags, the golden door slowly shut. Such an evil guy. Yi Mo took in a cold breath. Clearly, he wanted to catch everyone who went in. But now he realized that if he was really caught up, the Tao actualization divine emperor might bind the entire space. This wasn't the space binding of domain. Once space was bound, he wouldn't be able to use any god art. The insolent was fearless. If you didn't reach that level, you would never know the power of that level. Yi Mo didn't have the confidence had before. In this world, you're an insect if you didn't vindicate Tao. If he wanted to survive in this world, he would have to quickly vindicate Tao, or he would die. Luckily, His golden page world was complete, and he could use that to vindicate Tao. But before this, he would have to understand how to vindicate Tao. Yimo immediately called out Small Ginseng and Shadowless and said, "We're too weak right now. We have to find God's spirit range and God crystals to speed up cultivation. You two go out immediately and find God crystals and God's spirit range." Small Ginseng and Shadowless were very happy to do such things. They immediately went outside. A day later, Small Ginseng found a small God crystals mine. Yimo dug inside for a whole day and only got a few thousand top-grade God crystals and tens of thousands of middle-grade God crystals. The second day, Small Ginseng seemed to have found something top-level and ran around like mad. Yimo and Shadowless knew of Small Ginseng's capabilities and immediately became excited. 2 hours later, Yimo looked at where Small Ginseng pointed speechlessly. He saw a God spirit range, a low-grade God spirit range, and it was surrounded by hills. Even a low-grade God spirit range was worth more than tens of extreme-grade immortal ranges. More importantly, it contained God's spirit chi that was suitable for Yimo's cultivation now. Yimo was speechless because he saw more than 10 people surrounded. No matter how shameless he was, he couldn't go up and rob it. Plus, there were 2 half-divines there. If they joined up, he would be outmatched. Never mind, there's already people here. Let's go to another place. Yimo shook his head. Small Ginseng said desperately, "Boss, I'm not talking about this one. A few thousand steps ahead of this one, there's more God spirit range. I don't know how many exactly, but I have to get close to be sure." Shadowless pretended and said, "Yeah, boss, I feel there's God's spirit range over there too." He knew he was a far cry from Small Ginseng in terms of treasure hunting, but he said this to prevent boss from thinking he's useless and throw him into the golden page world again. Yimo saw the people ahead and said, "Why don't we wait till they dig it before we go?" "No, if they dig it, they can sense the other God spirit ranges there. They don't know yet because they haven't pulled the God spirit range out. If they don't pull it out, the natural spirit stealthing formation won't be broken." Small Ginseng said desperately, "In that case, let's hurry and go there." Yimo dashed over the sky. Chapter 2012. If you can't reason, then fight. Chapter 2012. If you can't reason, then fight. We chose the spot and haven't begun digging, but you took the yin-yang range away. Aren't you a bit too dominant? One immortal emperor middle stage, who was signaled by a half-divine, stopped Yimo, who was going to leave, and said. Yimo ignored the immortal emperor middle stage and put away Small Ginseng before saying to Shadowless, "Get ready to fight." "Ha! I, Nye Minglai, have never seen an immortal emperor middle stage this cocky before. If it wasn't that my eyes are still open, I would have thought it was a divine emperor talking to me. Brother Lu, have you seen him before?" A half-divine said from the distant. Unexpectedly, the Luo half-divine smiled. "I've really seen it." Nye Minglai sneered, clearly thinking that the half-divine was saying this to compete God's spirit range with him. He said to that immortal emperor middle stage, "Kill him." In this world, power was everything. You could be weak, but you needed to know to respect the powerful. If you didn't, then people would kill you for no reason. In his view, Yimo should have long been dead. That immortal emperor middle stage was waiting for the half-divine to say this, and immediately released his am. But as soon as he did, he felt a powerful domain binding. The next moment, his magic artifact slowed, and even the light from it dimmed. Yimo hacked out with Zisu. God Art Crevice. The small basin land couldn't cover the heaven-shattering purple beam. This purple beam was much more stronger than when Yimo used Crevice before. The purple ray sliced across the entire basin and didn't care about the 2 half-divines and more than 10 immortal emperors standing in front of it. When this god art sliced down, all the people under it released their magic artifact. When they sensed the lethal force, even that half-divine's face changed. Splurge, that immortal emperor middle stage who wanted to stop Yi Mo, was killed before he could release his god art. The purple ray disappeared. Su was still floating above, but the basin was very quiet. Yi Mo scanned the rest and said, "If no one else wants to rob me, I'm going." Nieming's face changed. Even he couldn't kill that immortal emperor middle stage in one move before he could activate his god art. What made him so annoyed was that Yi Mo was only immortal emperor middle stage, but he used god art so recklessly. Everyone was under the attack. This person is too cocky. Brother Luo, what do you think? Nya Minglai would have attacked already if he was the only half-divine here. However, the other half-divine smiled and said, "Brother Nya, although we came first, but now I've changed my mind. I only want half of this low-grade god spirit range. You can have that god spirit herb from before." Then Lu half-divine waved his hand, and that low-grade god spirit range was brought up. He hacked with his magic artifact, and it was split evenly from the middle. Then he sliced one half of it into 5 pieces and said, "You guys split it equally." Hearing this, the 5 took a piece without hesitation. Seeing this, Nieming's face changed and split the other half into 6, and he took the larger piece. Yi Mo didn't say anything. He knew things weren't over yet. He was ready for a big battle, but from the attitude of that Lu half-divine, Yi Mo didn't feel he wanted to fight him. After they split the god spirit range, they found there was a broken natural stealth formation. So that's it. Nya Minglai finally understood why Yi Mo was going to dig out the 2 god spirit ranges immediately. The Lu half-divine's face was bad. He realized this too. Although Yi Mo didn't dig the god spirit range they found, it was pretty much robbing their thing. If we dig out the first god spirit range, the yin-yang dual range would be exposed. You dug it before us. If this isn't robbing, what is? Nya Minglai released his magic artifact and stopped in front of Yi Mo. The other 5 stopped in front of Yi Mo too. The Lu half-divine didn't leave and subtly sealed off Yi Mo's exit path. Clearly, he was unhappy with what Yi Mo did. When I dug the 2 god spirit ranges, did you know about it or not? Yi Mo asked. Nya Minglai didn't want to fall into Yi Mo's word traps. Humph, I clearly knew there were 2 low-grade god spirit ranges there. Nya Minglai sneered. What he didn't expect was that as soon as he said this, Yi Mo punched over. He thought Nya Minglai was going to reason, and he was going to explain. But since this guy was this shameless, what's the point in talking? As Yi Mo released Shatter Sky, he smashed out 5 lightning spear destruction, while pressing over with his immortal emperor domain. Yi Mo had decided to kill Nya Minglai first, so he used Spirit Sense God Art Crevice as well. Yi Mo used this move before and almost killed Feng Kong Grand Emperor. Feng Kong Grand Emperor's power at the time was no weaker than this half-divine. In Yi Mo's eyes, if Feng Kong Grand Emperor's immortal essence was completely converted to God essence, this Nya Minglai would be no match at all. The void fist force immediately swept over lethal force. Nya Minglai, who was amongst this terrifying lethal force, was very shocked. Facing against this terrifying space lethal force punch, he was like a small ship in raging ocean waters. Before he could think, he released his magic artifact, 3 God Flame Sand. It instantly formed 3 heaven sand rivers, black, white, and red. They were separated at the beginning, but as time went on, they were completely mixed, forming a whirlpool with soul-shocking flame. Rumble! Yi Mo's Shatter Sky fist force was swept in and disappeared in a few seconds. Yi Mo was shocked too. This was his first time seeing such terrifying magic artifact. When the two fought, no one came to gang up on him. Chapter 2013. He doesn't dare. Chapter 2013. He doesn't dare crack. That extremely terrifying tearing sound exploded in Niemingle's sea of consciousness. His face went pale as a paper. In his sea of consciousness, the purple sword ray easily broke his spirit sense wall and smashed into his sea of consciousness. Nia Minglai knew he was over. Other people couldn't hear the terrifying sound, but Nia Minglai knew how unbearable it was. There was a huge long crevice in his sea of consciousness, and his spirit sense withered rapidly. He could no longer control his magic artifact and god art. The three-color sand whirlpool slowed down and couldn't even defend, much less attack. Rumble! A few more lightning sounds came. 5 300-meter-long lightning spears suddenly arrived. Nia Minglai knew he should use the three-color sand to stop it, but he couldn't control it. In just 1 second, the 5 lightning spear destruction drowned Nia Minglai. When the lightning disappeared and people could see clearly, Nia Minglai's burnt corpse remained on the ground. His storage ring and three-color sand were already taken by Yi Mo. Those immortal emperors who surrounded Yi Mo quickly retreated in shock. The other half-divine was extremely shocked too. He could feel that Yi Mo wasn't ordinary. That's why he didn't agree to join up with Nia Minglai. Now that Yi Mo killed Nia Minglai in such a short time, he was truly shocked. He knew Nia Minglai's means clearly, especially that three-colored magic artifact. He didn't have the absolute confidence to beat Nia Minglai, but this immortal emperor middle stage killed Nia Minglai easily. His power was definitely much stronger than him. Nia Minglai's face was suddenly pale, and his magic artifact dimmed. Clearly, he was ambushed by Spirit Sense Cultivation Method. Spirit Sense Cultivation Method wasn't rare in the God Necropolis domain, but to use it to ambush a half-divine meant it was definitely a top Spirit Sense Cultivation Method. He didn't believe Nia Minglai was underestimating the enemy, so the only possibility was that the Spirit Sense Cultivation Method was too strong, and this immortal Emperor Middle Stage's Spirit Sense was too powerful. Yi Mo ate a few dual spirit pills. The level wasn't high, but it was very helpful in recovering spirit sense. It was a huge toll on his spirit sense to ambush a half-divine. If the other 5 attacked him together, or that other half-divine attacked too, Yi Mo wasn't going to keep fighting. But Yi Mo calculated that when he killed Nia Minglai so quickly, the other people wouldn't dare to come up. He guessed right. Those immortal emperors not only didn't dare to gang up on him, but retreated instead. The other half-divine didn't seem to want to fight at all. Dao, friend, you're strong. I'm Starfall Castle, Lu Guanyu. What's your name? The half-divine saluted with his fists. Yi Mo said plainly, I'm just passing by. If Brother Lu doesn't have any other business, then farewell now. Lu Guanyu didn't expect that Yi Mo didn't want to connect with him at all. He felt a bit awkward, but soon a dashing light came. Seeing this, Yi Mo stopped wanting to leave. He knew this dashing light. It was Hung God Corner Young Mistress. She was covered in blood right now, and no longer had her pride. There was only horror in her eyes. Yi Mo's spirit sense immediately saw someone hunting her. He also knew the person hunting her. It was a half-divine who escaped from him, and his magic artifact was the heaven-shocking lamp. It gave him a strong impression as it could buff domain. The young mistress was very tattered. Seeing a few people here, she immediately charged over and called out, I'm Hung God Corner Hung Wan Man. Dao friends. She saw someone familiar and immediately landed next to Yi Mo. Yi Mo, please help me on Runan's account. The Hung God Corner will thank you greatly. She was so desperate that she didn't even ask how Yi Mo got in here. Yi Mo's power was nothing to her, but she needed to ask him for help. She knew that if she kept fleeing she would truly die. Yi Mo sneered. Her words were like shit to him. If it wasn't for Runan, he would have attacked her already. But Yi Mo didn't look attack. He didn't care if she looked down on him, because they would be people of two worlds. He hasn't left yet because she has something he wants. He knew from Runan that she had at least 2 lightning sound Aegis fruits. He really needed it now, so he immediately said, "These are all my friends here. If you give me a lightning sound Aegis fruit, I promise you'll be fine." "How do you know I have it?" The young mistress looked at Yi Mo in horror, but she calmed down a bit as she saw the half-divine didn't come over to Yi Mo. She had the feeling that the half-divine wasn't looking at her, but at Yi Mo, "You don't need to worry about that. You just need to give me one and you'll be safe. Otherwise, even if I don't attack you, everyone here has heard it and you won't get away." Yi Mo said casually. Young mistress's face changed. She looked around at everyone and saw they were all looking at her. Now that it was exposed, she was certain if she left here, it wouldn't just be a half-divine hunting her. This basin was silent, but young mistress could tell no one came over. She subconsciously looked at the burnt body on the ground and actually believed these people were all Yi Mo's friends. Otherwise, why did no one attack her? At this moment, one immortal emperor tertiary stage suddenly saluted with his fists. "Everyone, I'll be leaving first." Clearly, he didn't want to mess with Yi Mo nor wait at this troublesome place. But just when he said this, Yi Mo said, "It's no rush. I'm discussing business with someone. Go after I'm done with this. Perhaps I might have some business to discuss with you." The immortal emperor tertiary stage's face changed. How could it be good that Yi Mo was discussing business with him? But he didn't move his foot at all. He had seen Yi Mo's power. If Yi Mo attacked him, how could he get away? Young mistress, who was very dubious, saw that with one word from Yi Mo, an immortal emperor tertiary stage didn't dare to leave. She was more certain of Yi Mo's words. Regardless if these were Yi Mo's friends, they were scared of him. She didn't hesitate and took out a lightning sound Aegis fruit jade box. "This is one. It's yours." Yi Mo felt the powerful time wave in the box and took it while saying, "Let me check its authenticity." The young mistress was furious. She felt Yi Mo was targeting her with this. Yi Mo opened the box, and indeed the flow of time came from the Tao fruit. There was a calling for him to explore. Yi Mo immediately closed the jade box and took in a long breath while putting the jade box away. He knew this was the real lightning sound Aegis fruit for sure. At this moment, Yi Mo saluted with his fists to everyone. "I've just made a deal with this person. Tao friends, please give me some face, and let this hung god corner young mistress leave 5 minutes early. After that, I won't care about anything else. Do you have any opinions?" No one replied, but no one left. Yi Mo turned around to the extremely shocked young mistress. "You have 5 minutes, that's enough, right?" Young mistress suppressed her shock and immediately said, "That's completely enough. I'm worried about the person who came hunting for me." Then she looked at that half-divine, clearly fearful of his god art. Yi Mo sneered, "He doesn't dare to. I've let him go before. If he dares to attack, I will chase him through the entire Mu Hua God Mountains, if need be to kill him." The Lu half-divine was even more shocked. He knew who this half-divine hunting the young mistress was. Yet, even he lost to this immortal emperor middle stage. 5 minutes was nothing to him, and he was willing to give Yi Mo some face. He didn't need to fight Yi Mo for this 5 minutes. However, the half-divine who chased over his face was green. There was killing chi circulating his body. It was as though he was about to explode at any time. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Although everyone who could concoct God pills were called divine pill emperors, but in order to divide them, there was names respective to the cultivation level. Those who could concoct Tao molding God pills were called Tao molding divine pill emperor. Those who could concoct Tao acutalization God pills were called Tao actualization divine pill emperor. In fact, after immortals vindicate Tao, they rarely use pills, as the cultivation after Tao vindication is determined by your understanding of world laws. Fusing these understandings into your great God are required not just pills. Most importantly, there were pretty much no divine pill emperors after Tao essence. Therefore, people had to rely on themselves to learn world laws. And because of that, Tao fruits and chaos spirit items are so precious. Even if Tao fruits and chaos spirit items are consumed directly, their effects are amazing. Yemo didn't take out the well water to be cocky. He had his plans. He had the yin-yang dual range and the aegis fruit. He was planning to go to a place for solitary cultivation. He wasn't going to wait till the mountain closed and then go out with everyone. If he dared to go out, it would be suicide. Yemo asked Nyo Runen about the Muhua God Mountain. If the place closed, you had to go out or the time whirlpools would ravage everywhere. Yemo didn't want to go out, but he had his own way. His Golden Page world's 5 elements were complete. If he stayed in here, even if he couldn't go anywhere else, he could stay inside the Golden Page world and cultivate. Yemo suspected that the Tao Vindication Divine Emperor at the Chengzeng Lake had been cultivating in the mountain. With this precedent, what would Yemo be afraid of? Seeing the well, the eyes of that Lu half-divine lit up. He immediately took out more than 10 types of God's spirit herb to Yemo and said, "Tao friend, have a look at how much these God spirit herb can get." Yemo saw that the God spirit herbs were very ordinary. They were hard to find in the immortal realm, but not so extraordinary in the God necropolis domain. So he said, "You can get 1 bottle. I'll give you the bottle. You put it in yourself." Then Yemo waved out a jade bottle. Seeing this, the Lu half-divine rejoiced, feeling that this trip was worth it. He was only expecting half as much. With this, the other immortal emperors took out their God spirit herbs to trade with Yemo. They wouldn't take out their precious ones. It was just ordinary ones. But Yemo didn't reject them at all. 5 minutes later, the bowl of well water was long gone. Only that half-divine with the heaven-shocking lamp didn't come, but he didn't leave either. His eyes were very calm, as though the differences between them were settled. Yemo put away everything and said, "Thank you, everyone. The business will end here today. It was a pleasant deal. Goodbye." Then turned and left. Everyone said goodbye to Yemo. At the bottom of the Chengzeng Lake, the Tao molding divine emperor eventually didn't trap the Tao actualization divine emperor. After his golden gate was attacked a few times, that Tao actualization divine emperor smashed it open with magic artifact. Those tens of immortal emperors tricked and came out with the Tao actualization divine emperor. Seeing this, the Tao molding divine emperor immediately ran off. However, what he didn't expect was that this Tao actualization divine emperor didn't chase after him immediately and instead kept looking for Yemo. Clearly, he knew from other immortal emperors that Yemo got more good things. Even that yellow cloud robe, half-divine, was looking for Yemo. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A, and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters.